Over the last 2 years, as I pursued optimization both at the gym and at the desk, I have learned about and applied countless tools and protocols that enable better performance. Despite my affection for structure, apart from sporadic instances, I have never conducted a thorough documentation of the development of those habits. This is therefore only a documentation of my current self-research, recorded purely for the sake of my own journaling and not an explanatory video. The current plan is to go to bed by 10 p.m, then reading until I fall asleep. This time does not stand far from the current average time I go to bed, but the difference is in punctuality and consistency. I've always been rather vague with my bedtime, trying to stay within the reasonable threshold of 9 and 11 p.m, but never paying attention to the exact time I begin my bedtime routine. Over time, this eventually led to more and more pronounced deviations. The wake-up time will be around 8 a.m, after which I will start a light exposure protocol using artificial lights in order to train the circadian clock. My usual routine would include reviewing all of my Anki cards right after waking up, no matter how long that took. The advantage of that was the fact that it allowed me to immediately check off the necessity of completing the daily reviews. However, because the timing was incredibly inconsistent as it depended on the amount as well as the difficulty of the cards, it was impossible to stack any other habit on top of it. The time uncertainty also produced some disorientation, which happened to be very detrimental to the rest of the routine quite a few times. In addition, usually after reviewing the entire AFK deck, I am very hesitant to touch the practice problem deck. In result, the problems pile up and so does the overall frustration. Because the time inconsistency is mostly due to the practice problems at this point being very difficult, I've decided to restrict my morning Anki review to 90 minutes, where I will first be doing the practice problem deck and then the theory deck. This should solve the hesitance I have about doing practice problems and allow me to be punctual with my exercise routine as I can finish off the AFK deck at the gym. Along with sleep and exercise, this protocol has existed for a long time in my routine, but just as with the other behaviors, it's never been accurately systematic. The window will be 1 p.m. to 7 p.m, with the lower bound deviating in relation to my exercise and wake-up time. I am minimizing the deviation through the change in the Anki protocol, and I hope that the light exposure as well as stable bedtime will result in consistency in the earlier parts of the day. For now, not much will change in regards to exercise. I'm still following the usual program, but as time goes on and as all of the other protocols stabilize, the workout program will likely change to something more rigorous and efficient. Probably something that includes more cardio. I have yet to find the most appropriate time for me to meditate, as meditation never feels like something I genuinely want to do. With the recent change to the meditation posture I've made, however, it should be easier to implement and stick to. Moving meditation to evening hours is more of an experiment, and I've yet to find the best time for it. As I am on my way to recovery from burnout, I am starting out by setting down the fundamentals. Thus, for a week or so, I'm going to focus on sleep, exercise, nutrition, and meditation. 7 days is not enough to develop a habit, but I'm curious to see whether having the experience of a similar routine will allow for those behaviors to become habitual more rapidly.